Sergio Perez's 5th qualifying out of Q3, Brad Pitt dressed like this, and yeah, we got to talk about those McLarens. All that and everything that I thought was weird at this year's British GP. This is Aliens in the Paddock. I'm going to get into the McLaren's incredible performance, as well as how the safety car gave Mercedes an opportunity for a podium, but I kind of got to do things in order, and the first one is a weird one. My broadcast commenced with a pre-recorded interview with Brad Pitt, really emphasizing how focused this new untitled Formula One movie is on technical accuracy. We're going to see how accurate this movie is when it comes out, but fandom for F1 is at a fever pitch right now. I don't even know if I want this movie. I feel like my social media feeds were a bit saturated with Brad Pitt as Sonny Hayes, and it was a bit eye-rolling after a while. But this has the same director as Top Gun Maverick, so it might be good. Sergio Perez again couldn't start in the top 10, so I've got to think that Christian Horner and the team are assessing things. He was able to finish P6 though, by moving through the field with incredible pace. McLaren started P2 and P3. Can't tell me that isn't weird for this season. Love to see it though. After a bit of an average start from Max Verstappen, Lando Norris gets him in the first corner, and we see McLaren lead the race for a few laps. Gotta say, the special chrome livery on the McLaren looked just okay in my book. The chrome logo, unfortunately, throws off the whole thing with its multicolored orb look. What's going on with the helmets as well? Come on. In lap 6, George Russell complains about Leclerc moving under braking, but all he got was a warning. George Russell expressed his disappointment at the end of the race, but it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Ocon is a DNF with a hydraulic leak, and he parks it. Lando Norris clearly forgets his pre-race strategy meeting after this radio call.
And another move made.
Can we make plan A work currently?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. For sure.
Even though it was a bit of a mid-performance from Aston Martin, we got to see that Fernando Alonso is still a world-class driver with some incredible defending against the Alpine. George Russell manages to go about 10 laps more than predicted on softs and comes in for a pit in lap 29. Ultimately though, this pit changes the race for George. A slow change and bad timing means he missed leapfrogging Charles Leclerc. Every team was definitely looking at how well George ran on those softs and adjusted their strategies for sure. Lap 33 changes the race with Magnussen's Haas engine failure, fire blasting out the exhaust, and we go from a virtual safety car to a safety car. In an ideal world for Hamilton fans, he would have been right by the pit lane as that happened, but he misses it. Ultimately, I think Mercedes should be thrilled with the P3. This is where Ferrari's strategy fails. Again, the Ferrari drivers are not impressed. They barely got into the points this weekend after what I thought was a strong qualifying. Lance Stroll knocks Pierre Gasly's Alpine and ruins his suspension. Double DNF for Alpine. Stroll was more erratic than usual this race. He only gets 5 seconds for this. The way he was driving this race was just absolutely wild. I wasn't impressed. By around lap 48, McLaren can taste the P2, but Lando Norris is given a black and white flag for going over track limits. Hey, I actually did a video about track limits. Maybe click the icon thingy or watch it after this video. Max wins, of course. Florence Pugh waves the checkered flag, and Lando Norris locks in McLaren's first P2 since Monza 2 years ago. Their upgrade packages were spot on for this track, with Lando and Oscar driving like monsters. Albon and the Williams shows hope for the Blue W's, but personally I think it was so good to see Oscar Piastri lock in a top 4 finish. I do a video like this every GP. Subscribe if you made it this far and you won't miss the next one. Is there anything weird that I missed? Let me know down below in the comments. Maybe consider chucking me a like. This is Aliens in the Paddock with everything weird at the British GP. See you next time. Bye.